Okay, so now we've got the rares. There's not many rare skeletons, as it turns out.
There's only 5. Yep.
So starting out with Carrionet.
Carrionet is such a good name.
Such a good name. They
These
figured
things drop down from the ceiling, grab you, and then pull you back away.
There's no question that Carrionet has got a ton of surprise factor going.
It's got a ton of surprise factor. It's got a very unique take of the skeleton things. Like, he doesn't regenerate, but that's just because he's in the graveyard still doing his shtick.
Yep, holding your guy down.
Yeah.
You can beat it up so it stops moving, but it still got you. It's still crumpled around you, and you can't do anything.
God, yeah, because you could pay the mana, but you don't get. It's still not exile. They just could do it again some other time. They're just waiting. Mm-hmm. You're just waiting at the top of the room for you to screw up and not have your mana available, so I can grab you and take you.
And then the skeleton pops down, grabs your guy, and disappears.
Oh,
that guy in the background. Look at him.
But also, the best part about that is that the skeleton and the guy disappears, and it's not that the skeleton's defeated; it just left with your dude. That skeleton's gone. That skeleton is going into a different zip code.
This is a really novel use of skeletons. Let's be frank. That's great.
That's great.
Look at Squee's face. Look how horrified he is of the skeleton.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a good skeleton. It's a good skeleton.
Yeah. This is a real good skeleton.
This is very high up on this list.
I think it's better than Manor Skeleton.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's better than Vicino Skeleton.
I agree. I think so too. Actually, it's a good surprise skeleton. I'd say it's better than Drudge Reavers and Augur of Skulls.
I can agree with that.
I'll say it's better than the Meringue River skeleton. The question here is if it's better than the skeleton token. And I'm going to say yeah.
I'm going to say yes, it's better than the skeleton token because it's got that weird novelty of just...
Yeah,
who's about to do this with a skeleton?
Yep.
It just pops up, grabs it, and gone.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. Is it better than Duty Bound Dead? I think yes. I like Duty Bound Dead a lot. It's got that, it's got the scarf. He's a team player. But Carrionet does this weird work. He just does such weird, good skeleton stuff. You never saw this coming. This is the most surprise-ass skeleton.
That's the best thing. He doesn't pop up out of the ground. He drops out of the sky.
Yeah. Coming down from the ceiling is... People don't look up. So, dropping out of the ceiling is pretty much one of the best ways to surprise anything.
Sure.
Oh, reprint this guy, Wizards. Come on.
Yeah. Is he better than Drud Skeletons?
Oof.
I'm going to say yes.
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
Just...
Same.
No disrespect to Drud Skeletons, but man. Carrionet. Now, here's where I'm actually very torn is... Once we get to Grim Roustabout. Grim Roustabout is a party skeleton who beats...
Carrionet is a pun.
Yeah.
Oh God, you're right. The pun is still so good.
I'm pretty much willing to go either way on this.
But
I am not willing to say it's better than Reassembling Skeleton.
It's absolutely not better than Reassembling, but I think it's better than Grim Roustabout.
I'm very torn. I'm super torn. Oh God. I'm kind of with you, Dick, on that. I could go either way, which I guess means that it in fact goes in front because Red's the one person pushing
to
put it up there, which I will accept that. Both great skeletons.
Yeah. Very close. Carrionet is an excellent pun. That's kind of the thing that really puts it forward.
Okay, so this skeleton's going to be complicated because this is a green skeleton, no other color, just green, and it's Golgari Grave Troll. And before we go much deeper in this, not only does it have all the great, skeleton abilities of, hey, it can regenerate and do other stuff,
and also troll abilities.
It's got the troll abilities
and stuff.
It's also a card that's so strong that it didn't get banned in Modern once. It got banned in Modern twice.
They gave it a week of not a week literally, but they gave him a week of saying, maybe we'll see how you do now.
But then and then we were like, oh, he's not that bad. But then the power of love happened, the love between a mother and a daughter. And it turns out when you combine love with the Golgari Grave Troll, it's too much. The world cannot handle it.
It's too much, and suddenly all your pets are dead.
Golgari Grave Troll is the strongest skeleton, probably, in Magic the Gathering.
Maybe, probably. I mean,
it's a strong card, but it's not strong because it's a skeleton.
That's true.
It is because of a very large number at the bottom of the card called Dredge.
Yeah.
Which, hey, it's a very skeleton-ass mechanic, Dredge, sure, but yes. But he does get him into the battlefield. He's still pretty good, though.
Oh yeah, he's a friggin'
Can I point something out about Golgari Grave Troll?
Absolutely.
I think it's got like a pouch full of snakes. Have you noticed that on its art? Or are those skulls?
Those are skulls. Those are human skulls. Look like, possibly elvish skulls.
They look like snakes.
They look. I can see it. I can see it.
Those are human skulls that refuse to be buried.
Yeah.
They could be skulls from a god, the Simic, made into a snake.
I mean, that aside, it kind of makes sense that a troll skeleton would basically just be a troll.
I also just the fact that if you look at his knees and stuff, he's just, it's not that he's got flesh or anything. He's just very calcified. All the breaking him apart has made him calcify up.
You combine the two regenerated, iconic regenerating creatures of Magic.
Yeah.
That's skeleton and troll. You get basically a troll, but made of bone. It doesn't even have a skeleton proper. It's just a bone troll.
But also, bear in mind, he regenerates in two different ways, because you can do the regeneration with paying the mana. He
does the troll regeneration, and then he does the skeleton recursion.
Yeah.
Yes, because he does the dredged recursion.
Ooh.
This is a good skeleton.
Yeah. I do. At the same time, while I think it's neat, I do have to give it some points lost because it doesn't really look much like a skeleton.
I think so. It looks like a skeleton. Zoom in.
It's made of bone. I mean, straight up, like you said.
Yes,
he's just calcified. I will say, if you especially look at the hand on the left, he definitely has bones for the hands.
I'm still
don't judge other species skeletons.
Man,
it's really good.
It's
high up here?
Is this better than the skeleton token?
He's been banned twice.
Yeah.
They didn't learn their lesson once. They had to have it happen a second time. I think he's better than the skeleton token.
How do you feel, Dick-Tron?
Yeah, but I want to say that's where we stop.
So just above the token?
Yeah.
But not better than Duty Bound Dead?
I like Duty Bound Dead a lot.
Duty Bound Dead has a lot of hustle.
Yeah. A lot of hustle.
And also, like you said, Golgari Grave Troll, in terms of its impact, on the battlefield he's also great because he just becomes a big boy. It's hard to get rid of. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, also, the decks where he was banned for, they almost never played him. They won much faster. They won much faster than that.
All right, yeah.
So I think, he's... I think below...
He's a good skeleton boy.
In fact, I would say he's a great skeleton. Number 6, not a bad place to be.
No,
Number 6 is a great place to be out of 40 something.
Might still be bumped down. I don't know. We got 5 more?
Oh, yeah, especially looking at the next card on this list. Now, this is a skeleton that I love.
Skeletal Vampire. What's up, bud?
He's so good. He's a vampire that made himself into a skeleton so he could have bats live in his torso.
I don't think that's quite how that works, but
it's not quite how it works. But he also, he's
got that metal plate protecting his heart.
Yeah, he's a vampire. Yeah.
The only way to kill him is to destroy that heart.
I love that he can somehow split bats into more bats.
He tears them in half.
Yeah.
He splits bats into more bats, and then he eats a bat to regenerate.
Yeah.
You should be able to sacrifice a bat to make 2 half bat tokens.
He's just a great card, too.
Mm-hmm. And then he can eat a bat to not die.
Yeah.
I think our second or third flying skeleton?
Sure.
Third. I think it's third.
Yeah.
And then, unlike in the other two, which have either wings or the suggestion of wings, this one just flies.
It's a vampire. That makes sense.
Yeah, it makes more sense to me.
Vampires just fly. They just kind of do.
They have an innate magic, so...
I mean, I'm aware. I'm just saying that,
yeah.
I like that, honestly. There's no attempt to make it look like he's really doing anything but jumping through the air.
Yeah.
The bats are carrying him and constantly dropping him.
I like it.
I like that too. I also like the fact that he's skeletal vampire skeleton.
Yeah. Not quite type line, but...
No, but the invert's also good. It's not as good as the same thing, but the invert is nothing to sneeze at.
Right.
Oh, man. So, I really like this guy a lot. I'm willing to put him very high on the list. All right, so where does she go? Is she better than Viashino Skeleton?
Yes.
Yeah. Is she better than Drudge Reavers?
Yes.
Not a surprising skeleton, but a very intimidating skeleton.
I think a flying skeleton that can drop out of the air is
with bats.
Regardless. Yeah, with bats.
Very surprising.
Mechanically have anything. Yeah, it doesn't mechanically suggest anything that's surprising, but the card itself could be surprising as hell.
Is she better than Augur of Skulls?
Skeleton wizard versus vampire skeleton.
Yes. Yeah,
I like the type line of Augur of Skulls better, but I like everything else about skeleton vampire better.
Skeletonized skeleton token.
Yes.
I think
because while the token I think is very van-worthy, so is the skeletal vampire, you know?
Yeah, and the skeletal vampire has other things going on, so that kind of puts it above it, kind of objectively.
Also, I'll just say the skeletal vampire looks in its art like it should be accompanied by butt rock.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
Now here's where I get actually very the wall of conflictedness is once we get to Golgari Grave Troll, another skeleton from the same block, then they're both just very weird, unique skeletons. They're doing very similar, or they're doing very different takes of the skeletal, they're exploring the range of the skeleton. You know?
I say that it's better than Golgari Grave Troll.
I'd have to agree.
I think you're right. Mm-hmm. But Duty Bound Dead?
I would put it above that.
I'm kind of iffy about that.
I like Duty Bound Dead's hustle, but Skeletal Vampire also can tear one bat into 2 bats.
Yeah, okay, fine. Versus Drudge Skeletons.
I think it's better than Drudge Skeleton.
It's classic. A vampire skeleton versus a pile of skeletons. I think the vampire beats it.
Okay. Grim Roustabout. I'm going to say no.
I say yes, but not above Carrionet.
I say... I'm the decider. I say no.
No?
I just like... Skeletal Vampire is look, you're a skeleton, buddy. You didn't have to give up on style. You're on Ravnica. Skeletons can wear clothes on Ravnica.
Also,
the
skeleton vampire, vampire skeleton type line and skeleton vampire name and all that, they're good together. Grim Roustabout is a really good name for a card.
You're right. It really is great. It's a good.
Really is a really.
We've not given
name.
that sufficient attention. The fact that is just a roustabout. God.
Yeah. Roustabout. What's up?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Here's one. It's Skeleton Scavengers.
This one friggin' competes.
Yeah. That's why I'm laughing because the art.
Multiple skulls without the things. One's got a horse skull on top of its head. The other's got a weird griffin thing going on.
One's got that stupid like hat.
Yep. You know, it's got a full range of like completeness going on here because one of them is just missing his lower jaw.
Look at the one looking at the shield. The one looking at the shield has 3 arms.
I didn't even notice that. Holy shit, you're right.
Yeah, mechanically, it's actually you've got a really weird, good like skeleton mechanic going on where it grows and scavenges, and then you have to pay more to regenerate it and keep it big.
This is surprise contender. Wow.
Yeah, I don't feel like he goes super high, but I think he's still pretty high.
I like it.
The one in the foreground. Look at its hand in the back. By the sheet, you see it? The bottom right?
It's like an animal, like a flipper?
I don't know. He doesn't have legs, so...
The one with the horse skull has a fucking skull weaved into his rib cage.
Yep, and he's holding a claymore.
Hell yeah!
I like the skeleton on the left, appraising the shield. Like, yeah, I'll use this. Yeah.
Oof. There's so much variety and personality in every one of these skeletons.
Yeah, they've got hustle.
Also, they're just kind of doing stuff. I love that it's just a depiction of skeletons doing stuff.
I mean, they're scavenging.
Yeah. They're not fighting right at this moment. They're just kind of scavenging. Yeah, I love it.
I'm going to start this. Is it better than Rot Farm Skeleton?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Is it better than Viashino Skeleton?
Yeah,
yes.
I think we're going to have to bump up a couple times.
Is it better than Meringue River Skeleton?
Yes.
Yes, with reservation.
Yeah.
All right. Is it better than the Skeleton Token?
Yes, but I think that's where it stays.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's the right
I put
place.
It below the Skeleton Token, but all right.
Yeah, like I wasn't ever. Well, make an argument. I feel like I'm very much on the fence.
Now I'm starting to waver on. I'm like, you know what? No, I could see that below the Grave Troll. I could honestly see it above the Grave Troll.
I just like the mechanically his regeneration. Like he just grows and scavenges. Now here's man, I could go.
You know my feelings about this next one.
I could go so many places with this. It's
our first legendary skeleton, I believe.
Yes, the skeleton ship.
Which is a confusing part.
Skeleton. Skeletons.
But it's got a skeleton riding a flying sea turtle.
It's got multiple. 2 skeletons riding a flying sea turtle. And there's a dolphin there. And it's having a wonderful time.
You want to talk about skeletons that are, like, fun? This is the one.
This is a fun-ass skeleton.
What noise do you think the skeleton riding the sea turtle is doing?
Now, worth noting, does not regenerate at all.
This doesn't have anything to do with skeletons.
Okay. That's just it. It doesn't need to regenerate because it's a boat.
You're right. You got a good point.
It's not a legendary creature skeleton pirate.
It's a legendary skeleton boat.
I think this is actually, you know how most boats are like human pirates now? I think this might be the boat is crewed by skeletons.
Yes.
And they're having a wonderful time.
Yeah, the skeletons... Yeah. Honestly, the skeletons are just kind of incidental.
This is just a skeleton party cruise.
Yeah.
So, okay. So I'm very torn in the sense that I love the art and everything going on with this art. But man, I
think its ability's pretty good.
The island stuff is good. It's just more the sense of the put a +1/-1/-1 counter on target creature. Like, I want something skeleton going on here.
Well, that's the -1 is they're taking a bone from the guy.
Oh, don't stretch. Don't stretch on me. Is. You know, you're stretching here.
Look, man, I know boats.
You do. Don't get me wrong. I know you do, but you're stretching here. Where do we start? Manor Skeleton. Better or worse than Manor Skeleton?
It's better than Manor Skeleton.
I'd say so.
Yeah, it's more
because either way, it's a boat made of skeleton or it's a boat full of skeletons.
And they're having a great time.
They're having a great time. And imagine a bunch of skeletons having a good time working the deck.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is it better or worse than Carnage Gladiator?
Yeah, better.
Better. Is it better or worse than Viashino Skeleton?
better, but I'm starting to waver on it.
Yeah. Maybe. But the problem is, like, at this point, after Viashino Skeleton, we get into things that are skeleton-ass skeletons, and I feel it's not right putting skeleton ship up there.
We're like the paragons of skeleton kind. Like, these are skeletons having a great time, but they're having such a good time that they've kind of forgotten what it means to be a skeleton, and it's to come back up again.
Like, these skeletons, you're going to walk onto this ship, and then, like, half of them are swabbing it. Another half are just, like, hanging from the rafters and all that. And they're all singing. They're all singing, like, ridiculous sea shanties.
Which is great. But I mean, my challenge is more the fact, like, I walk on this pirate ship, I knock one of those skeletons down, they've forgotten how to regenerate.
Yeah.
They've had such a good time. They've had such a good time on the skeleton ship that when you knock them down, the amount of joy they've experienced has allowed them to reach the afterlife. They move on. All
right. I'm satisfied with the placement of this boat.
Oh, you already got it? Oh, you already doing it? Someone's already
I'm not doing it.
Victron's got it. Okay. So that is the rares.
Mm-hmm.
We have 2 mythics.
2 mythics. Okay. So we start here with the Champion of Stray Souls.
Skeleton Warrior.
The Skeleton Warrior's got a bunch of return masks hanging from his chest.
That's cool.
It does.
He's a big skeleton.
He's just in the underworld looking thing.
He does have Graveyard Recursion. It's very slow and very expensive, but he can do it.
Yeah.
It's very slow and very expensive, but also he's a 4/4 for 6 because he's strong.
And also, he just fights his way into the underworld and brings his friends back every single time.
Yeah. No, he sacrifices other dudes. I like a lot what's going on here, but I don't actually think he's that great of a skeleton.
No?
No, he's okay.
I feel like this is what Asphodel Wanderer wants to be.
Yeah, this is Asphodel Wanderer after having wandered for 100 years. And
Asphodel Wanderer is beginning of Dark Souls. This is end of Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Now I'm in. But where? Because this guy's complex and he's got neat aspects to him, but he's not exactly a paragon of skeleton kind.
Well, then we'll start here. Is he better than Skeleton Ship?
No.
Is he better than Viashino Skeleton?
I want to say he's better than Skeletal Worm.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm with you there.
Is he better than Rot Farm Skeleton? I'd say yes.
Yeah, I'll say we put him directly below Viashino Skeleton.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Viashino Skeleton is having the best day of its own life.
Yep. Champion of Stray Souls, I respect for being a mythic skeleton, and I like it.
Yeah.
For that reason. It's just that, and it does it pretty well. It's just kind of still not... I want it to be better. I just want it to be a better card.
See, I don't even necessarily want it to be better. I want it to be more skeleton-y.
That's also true, yeah.
Because here's a weird thing to think about, okay? Think about this. Consider the Grim Roustabout. Consider the Champion of Stray Souls. Champion of Stray Souls is a much stronger card, right? But I feel like I'm actually more likely to use the Grim Roustabout to its entirety if I have it in my a hand. I feel like, this guy will get out and he will do more for me than probably Champion of Stray Souls will.
That checks out.
It's a weird argument to make for comparing a common and a mythic, but that's what it is.
That checks out. All right.
That's a general just feel for it. So, okay, so below Viashino Skeleton, I got it.
Yeah.
All right, so on to the final skeleton. The final skeleton, and my cat is just excited for this skeleton discussion. This is going to be...
The Light Dragon.
Yeah, Skitterax. How do we... So
I'm going to start with saying Skitterax is probably the most 12-year-old cool card in all of Magic the Gathering.
It's up there.
You're probably right.
It's super radical. Its dragon skeleton is like fantastic type line.
I love what you saw in the background of the art. I love the spores coming out of his furnace back thing the furnace dragons have.
It's also a legitimately quite good card.
Oh, absolutely.
On top of everything else. Yeah.
He's got flesh.
He does have flesh.
Or she. I don't know which.
Skitterax has flesh, and that's a problem.
They've got a lot of flesh, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
Though they are regenerate, so they're a skeleton.
Yes.
See, here's the thing about that. A lot of that's not flesh; it's metal.
Some of it is.
Flettle.
I can see the meat.
Flettle.
I can see the meat on it.
Yes, around like the tendons. That's because it's also Phyrexian.
Yeah, true, but I don't know.
Which this is tendons and just attached still to make it work.
So a problem with Skitterax is that a lot of the times if I'm looking at its art, I'm going to start judging its art as a dragon as opposed to as a skeleton.
This checks out.
And like it's very much telling me, yo, this is a dragon first and foremost.
I mean, it is. It's a dragon skeleton, not a skeleton dragon.
Yeah, it's just that the skeleton aspects, which is literally just the regenerate, feel kind of like tacked on, in a way.
Man.
All right. I get what you're putting down.
It's a fine skeleton from a lot of respects.
But not a fine skeleton from a skeleton respect.
Yes.
I think I'm with you.
So I'm kind of forced to judge it kind of low.
Yeah, like it doesn't fill me with the excitement of skeletons.
Yeah.
Like it's not like how I feel about like looking at using the top of this list. Like the top of this list make me go like, yeah, skeletons, sure. Whereas this guy's kind of like, oh, I guess, yeah, you're a skeleton.
Is it better than Century of the Underworld?
Yes, I'd say so.
Is it better than Manor Skeleton?
No, I want Manor Skeleton to be better than this mythic rare card.
Yeah, okay.
That's an arbitrary reason. You have to explain it. You can't just do that, especially because you said that now.
Honestly, I would personally put it below Century of the Underworld because, like I said, I'm judging it very heavily as a skeleton, and it's not really coming up.
I'm kind of with you on that.
Yeah, I catch you. I could go down.
See, I feel like we should go judge it first from like Marrowbats.
No,
whoa, that's low. That's a little harsh.
Okay, like then from Dimir Houseguard.
Sure, Dimir Houseguard. Okay, is he
better than Dimir Houseguard?
I would say so.
Okay, and I will say it's better than Urborg Skeleton, but not as good as Tenacious Dead.
I don't know, like Urborg Skeleton, they're ripping out their own rib cage. It's a surprise skeleton that's being kicked, that Urborg Skeleton fights the Phyrexians. That's a good skeleton.
Old Phyrexians.
Yeah.
I'm kind of okay with being below Urborg Skeleton.
No, I'm with it being below Tenacious Dead.
Yeah. Skitterax being worse than Tenacious Dead sounds fair to me.
It's worse than Century of the Underworld. It's worse than all sorts of fun stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a very scientific method we did. I think that's all the skeletons. I think we successfully ranked all of the skeletons.
I think we did it. There's no bonus skeletons we're forgetting?
Is there or is there not?
There's stuff that makes skeletons that we're missing?
There's Drudge Spell, I guess.
Oh, yeah, Drudge Spell.
Which just makes a Drudge skeleton.